Hey everybody, do a quick breakdown on LOCM, but first, if you're new to Penny Stock Live, welcome. Penny Stock Warfare is the way I go about trading penny stocks, 10% rinse and repeat. Essentially, I develop criteria, then I take that criteria and I search for stocks. Once I've found stocks within that criteria, I move them into watch lists, and then I look for catalysts within those watch lists that could cause a stock to shoot up in the short term. So in the case of LOCM, the criteria that was surrounding was a double bottom, or good support, if you will. You can see support on the price action back through here. This is a 1-year chart. You can see that it touched down after the recent beating it took, back at support and turned up. Okay, so we've got double bottom, but more importantly, we have a significant short squeeze opportunity on our hand. If you're new to trading, a short is when a person takes a position against the stock, and eventually at some point in time they have to buy their shares back. And when anybody buys shares, it's a supply demand issue. There's a $94 million market cap on this one, so it appeals to small and big traders. And when people buy their shares back, it causes momentum, and then that adds buyers to the scene, and anybody in advance prior to the squeeze can lock in some big gains very quickly. All right, so what did I see on this one? Well, again, you got double bottom support, price action. You have an oversold stock. All right, so that's the criteria. The squeeze starts to come into play when the stock starts building up. So this is where I put out the alert right here. But look at these, days that go by. It's making higher lows, and the shorts are starting to get nervous. I sense them getting nervous. You have a bull-bear battle in the volume down here, but you're making these higher lows, and they're wondering if they should cover because it's going to go higher. Of course, greedy shorts want to hold on to their shares and wait till the last minute, and that's what causes the squeeze. So I picked up and sent out my alert right there at 363 on Tuesday. All right. Now I'm going to go to a 100-day chart, so it's a little easier to see. All right. So here's the beat down, comes all the way down to support, starts to tick back up. This leads me to believe that it's going to spike. I send out the alert after I picked up my shares here at 363. You can see that within days, the volume is building in our favor. So I decide that this is probably going to happen and I need a bigger position. I average up, which I'll rarely do unless I'm really confident. I pick up another 5,000 shares at the low of the day, 381. And you'll see that in a moment on the 1-minute chart from Friday. So the alert goes out here. I've got 5,000 shares at 363. I pick up another 5,000 shares at 381, and the volume ends up being massive, and that's a result of shorts covering their position. Take a look at the 1-minute daily chart. All right, so here is where I picked up another 5,000 shares. I believe that was me right around there. And, still the same type of sideways action that we've seen. These are all 1-minute candles here. But look at what happens when the shorts start covering. You just have a 4-alarm fire and the thing takes off. These are 1-minute, 2-minute, 3-minute, these are 1-minute candles. That's how quickly it moves. Luckily, I watched these stocks like a hawk, and when the volume started to pour in, I was prepared. And within moments, I had the text out to all of you, and then I sent the email. The text is always the quickest way to get the alerts. It's a really good idea if you're going to be a trader to have a smartphone with your trading software loaded to it, so that no matter where you are when situations like this take place, you're in a position to lock it in. So within a couple of minutes, we're up into the 430 range, and my goal on this one was between 430 and 450. So the tape was moving real quick. I just put my order in at 435, and my 10,000 shares were gone. Maybe a quick lesson for everybody. In hindsight, I think what I probably would have done was sold half my position at the 435 range and sold half if it had gone higher or even on a dip. I would have closed out my whole position either way, but at least I would have had half of the shares to sell into what was, another huge cover. And what you have here is all the people, who are looking for momentum trades to finish their week. They're bringing buying into the play last minute. So we have the shorts covering, buyers coming into the stock, and, of course, everyone following my buy and sell strategy is trying to lock in profits on their greed, which is the best way to trade penny stocks. You don't want to be the person trying to buy in this explosion. You want to be the person that's set up prior to the explosion, and then you can just have the luxury of trying to sell versus buy and sell. So anyways, the alert went out right here because that's where I sold my shares, somewhere in here. Within seconds, I had the text out. Within a minute or two, I had the email out, and luckily it just charges forward, and everybody on my list that was following my buy and sell strategy actually probably saw higher prices than me. Again, if you had your smartphone with you, if you were out and about, that's the best way to go, because then you can just lock it in while you're on the road. That's, my friends, a classic short squeeze right there. It doesn't get any more basic than that. Again, you go back to the 1-year chart. All right, the criteria: oversold stock, the catalyst, short squeeze. You can't beat it. That's all I do. I look for these on a regular basis. I'm glad our timing on this one was perfect. So hopefully that'll help you out. I'll be looking for more stocks, and I'll have my watch list out tomorrow. I'm going to watch some basketball tonight, so enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll get back after it on Monday. Take it easy.